Hello everyone, I'm Cass Cross, your English Eternal Return caster, and today I'm back to introduce Eternal Return's 83rd character, Henry. Shuriken-wielding Henry manipulates time and creates a field with crowd control effects to block enemy attacks and strengthen his coordination with allies. In order to play Henry effectively, it's important to use Chronograph to disrupt enemy movements and help him land his skills more easily. Maintaining aggressive positioning to continuously pressure multiple enemies is also a key part of his playstyle. Now let's get started. Henry's kit consists of his Q, Clock Hands, W, Chronograph, E, Time Jump, R, Chrono Field, and finally his passive, Time Fracture. Passive, Time Fracture. When Henry deals a certain amount of damage to an enemy character within a short time, he attaches a timer to them. When the timer ends, it deals skill damage proportional to the target's lost HP. Time Fracture gives Henry a strong advantage when dealing burst damage. When combined with the crowd control setup from Time Jump, which I will explain in a moment, it helps make up for Henry's weaker finishing power. This skill is especially effective when used aggressively, giving Henry a greater edge. Q, Clock Hands. Henry throws a minute hand in the target direction, dealing skill damage to enemies in its path, and additional true damage to immobilize enemies hit. The skill can be reused within a certain amount of time. Recast. Henry throws the hour hand in the target direction, doing greater skill damage to enemies in its path, and additional true damage to immobilize enemies hit. From the second enemy hit, each skill deals reduced damage. Immobilized targets take additional true damage. Clock Hands is Henry's main damage skill. Its short cooldown lets him poke his opponents and deal extra true damage to targets affected by immobilization effects, making it especially effective when combined with his W skill, Chronograph. W, Chronograph. Henry creates a chronograph at the targeted location. Enemies standing on it take consecutive skill damage and are slowed. Hitting an enemy character or boss monster reduces the skill's cooldown. When Chronograph is placed at the target location, it damages and slows enemies inside the area. This makes it a key skill for blocking enemy paths and helping allies land their abilities. Chronograph can also be combined with his E, Time Jump, to greatly increase his survivability, which makes landing it accurately all the more important. E, Time Jump. Henry channels and rapidly rewinds time to teleport to the targeted location. If he lands on a chronograph, enemies on it are rooted and take skill damage. If he lands when an enemy character is standing on it, Henry's movement speed increases briefly, decaying over time. When he starts teleporting, the cooldowns of Clock Hands and Chronograph are reduced. Time Jump isn't just a movement skill, it also reduces Henry's cooldowns, making it perfect for escaping when he's being chased. When used on Chronograph, it roots enemies and increases his movement speed, turning it into an even stronger offensive tool. However, since Time Jump is a channeling skill, it can be interrupted by enemy skills, so you need to use it carefully. R, Chrono Field. Henry becomes immune to crowd control and generates a field around himself for a period of time, dealing skill damage and gaining a shield. While the field remains, enemies and their projectiles are slowed. When the timer ends, the field explodes, destroying enemy projectiles, dealing skill damage to enemies, and stunning them. Henry creates a wide area around him that deals damage and applies strong crowd control, so using this skill offensively with Time Jump can turn a fight heavily in his favor. It can also be used defensively, blocking threatening projectiles like Bernice's ultimate, Explosive Bola, or Rio's Spirit Arrow. Using it at the right time is key to making the most of this skill. Henry bends time itself to shape the battlefield for his allies on Lumia Island, but will time ever turn back in his favor, letting him see his loved ones again? That wraps up our Lumiapedia for Henry, our test subject number 83. Until next time.